Hello and welcome to Paradise Fibers. My name is Kyle and today we're going to go over one of Louet's floor looms that we were able to set up this weekend, and it is the Louet David floor loom. Couple new features on the loom. If you have a David that you've purchased previous in the years back, you might be saying, this doesn't look like the loom I have. That's because they've made a few upgrades. The most noticeable one right off the bat is obviously this beater. The original David looms had the overhead beater similar to the Louet Jane looms. They recently switched to this sliding beater, which is an awesome feature that isn't on any other floor loom. I absolutely love it. It's very unique. I haven't had a chance to play a lot with it, but the little amount of weaving I've done, I absolutely love it. So you can see here that it's just on these sliding rods and it just slides up and back and forth. Now when you first get it, you might find that it might be a little stiff. There's a couple things you can do. Some graphite. If that doesn't work, we found that soap works really well and it slides beautifully on these. Now, more good news. If you do have an old David loom and you're going, I want it so bad, why didn't mine come with that? They have a conversion kit. You can buy this and we'll have it up on our website. It is the sliding beater bar, and it is a very easy conversion. It's just a couple of bolts and you'll be good to go. You take that overhead beater off, clears up all the clutter up here, and you have a nice sliding beater bar. I'm really excited about this. Another thing that they changed in this is they put a shuttle race on it. So with your boat shuttle, you can see they actually have a shuttle race now, so you can slide it across that. You don't have to worry about it dipping through your warp. So that's a nice feature along with that too. So first off, let's talk about the loom itself. It comes with 8 shafts. There's no 4 shaft or 4 now 4 later. It's just an 8 shaft loom. It's available in 2 different sizes. They have a 27 inch, which is this one here. They also have a 35 inch. One of the features about this loom that I found is my favorite is the cam system, or some of you might call it a spring and pulley system. It is a jack style loom, but instead of the typical jack looms where your shafts are getting pushed up as you treadle down, you're actually pulling these shafts down. And what this cam system allows you to do is there's a little bit of tension right when you've originally stepped down, but then that cam takes over and it's a mechanical advantage, and it actually creates a very fluid, easy treadling motion. And the cams are all actually up in this unit up here. So you can see there's all these cams and all these springs, pulleys, whatever you want to call them. And it creates a mechanical advantage, as I was saying earlier. Instead of you doing all the work, this pretty much does the work for you. So while we got the camera up here, I'm going to go ahead and step on a couple treadles and you'll see kind of how these work. As soon as you start to see this move, it's a little bit, you'll feel it resist against your foot, and then once it gets to a certain point in this pulley system, the cam takes over and your shafts pull down, and it creates actually a pretty generous sized shed in your loom. So there's the stiff feel, and then the cam rolls over and you have a nice, fairly large shed to weave with. So that is another feature Louet has, and you saw a couple of those cams didn't come up. That's just because I'm not using those shafts. I just have them tied up so they're off the floor. But those ones that did stay up, like these ones here, there's that cam system. I absolutely love it. I've never felt anything like it. It's a very unique jack shaft loom. And the David loom was actually named after David and Goliath. I'm sure most of you have heard that story. So there's a reason behind the name of this loom. It looks like a small floor loom, but it is actually got a lot of awesome features, and it's not limitless. It is limitless, I'm sorry. There's tons of things you can do on this loom, lots of very cool features. It does fold up to about 28 inches. The back beam does just, with 2 bolts, you take those 2 bolts out, it folds up, so it will fit through most doors, so it is fairly portable. Another thing is you'll notice all the shafts have the textile cord instead of the inserted eye heddles, and having the textile cords for the tie-ups, for the inserted eye heddles, what that does is that really limits a lot of weight on this loom. So this loom is very light. If it wasn't so wide, one person could actually pick this up. Two people can manage it very easily. So that's all the textile cord makes it much lighter. The other thing I really like is looms that do have the textile or the inserted eye heddles tend to be a little bit on the noisy side. It's very quiet loom. I'll treadle again for you while you're right here. So the only noise that's being made is wood. That's it. You don't have that clinging and tinging of all those inserted eye heddles. So if you want a quiet loom and if you want to really easily treadle action, this is definitely the loom for you. I really like it. Very excited to have it here at our shop. And they do have a lot of accessories you can purchase with this loom for both the 27 or the 35 inch. A couple of them they have a sectional warping beam that actually attaches to the existing beam, so you don't have to replace any beams, which is nice. They do have a second back beam, so if you are using two different kinds of warp and the elasticity is different, you can go ahead and throw on that second back beam, which is going to allow you to get an even amount of tension across your warp. They have a bench for it, and like I did say, if you do have an older model of the David loom, you can purchase the sliding beater bar. So another awesome feature with typically all of the Louet floor looms and table looms like the Jane, they actually have a built-in rattle up top here. So as you can see, this is not just a goofy design, it's actually a built-in rattle for the loom. So that will also help you out. You don't have to buy one, it's included with the loom. So the David loom also has metal cog and pawls or ratchet and pawls here on both the cloth beam and the warp beam, which allows you to have very high tension projects. As I had a chance to actually speak with David over at Louet, and he said in his entire lifetime being there, he's only replaced 2 of them because they've been bent. They're the exact same cog and pawls that you see on the Jane loom. But one thing that you might notice on the loom is there was no brake on it. That is another accessory that they actually have available for this loom. So if you decide, hey, I want that tensioned brake, that's an option that you can get with Louet, the Louet David loom. And basically, if you've ever seen the Louet spring loom, it's going to be absolutely identical to that loom. It's going to connect onto your back warp beam, and there's going to be a handle that just comes right across to the side of the loom. So you won't have to get up at all. You can actually sit in your nice, beautiful Louet bench that matches the David loom and just reach that brake lever without having to get up and come over here and mess with the ratchet and pawl system. So make sure you check that out too. It's a very handy feature, so you don't have to get up and walk around the loom. It just makes life a little bit more easy here at Paradise. So this is it. This is the Louet David loom. That's just a little access panel on top. I know the cam system looked kind of scary, but good news, it comes completely assembled. The castle does, so it's basically just adding on your cloth beams, your warp beams, the frame, tying up your treadles. But they have very clear pictures and instructions. It's very simple to set up, very easy to get warped. So we absolutely love it. This beam actually right up here just pops right up, so when you're warping it and pulling it through the heddles, you can get in there nice and close to your heddles. So this just pops right up. As soon as you get your warp on there, the tension keeps it down. So this is the Louet David loom. If you have any questions, make sure you give us a call. Our number here is 888-320-7746. Or go to our website and check it out. You can find the loom and all of its accessories at www.paradisefibers.com. Thanks for coming and watching our video here on the Louet David floor loom. And if you do get one, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.